Welcome back. In this video, I will quickly show you how to use the platform and make the most out of its features. First of all, up here we have the navbar. The course outline button displays all the chapters in the curriculum. If you click on a chapter, its lessons will be expanded. These chapters and these lessons are put in the exact order in which you should go through them. Usually, the first lesson of each chapter is a theory lesson. You go through the theory to understand a new concept, and then you solve some small interesting challenges to make sure that you are ready to use that concept into the real world. The next lessons from each chapter are coding questions which slowly increase in difficulty. Let's take the Fibonacci problem for example. First of all, we have the problem statement, along with some examples, the constraints, and the time and space complexities which are expected from your solution. You start thinking about the problem as we have discussed in the previous video, and let's say you get stuck. This is where the hints come to your help. You can read the first hint and think again about the problem. Let's say you're still stuck. Read the second hint, think again about the problem, and so on and so forth. If you finished reading all the hints and you are still stuck, then it's time for you to watch our video solution, in which we thoroughly break down how we came up to the solution, what's the logic behind the algorithm, of course using our bulletproof formula of solving coding questions. Then we go together through the pseudocode, and then we run it on some examples. After watching the video solution or figuring out the solution by yourself, it's time to go from theory land to the coding land. The second button in the navbar allows you to choose your programming language of choice. Let's say I choose JavaScript. The third button allows you to change the editor font size. You can make it bigger, you can make it smaller, which one you prefer. This is where our step-by-step coding tutorial shines. You can either activate it, as it is now, or deactivate it if you want to write the full source code by yourself. When the coding tutorial is activated, this means that you will write the solution step by step, line by line, guided by our instructions. For example, here, I need to treat the special cases where n is 0 and n is 1, so I need to write an if statement checking if n is less than 2, and if so, return n. This is exactly what I'm going to do. If n is less than 2, then I'm going to return n. After I've written the step, I should validate the step. And it is indeed a success. Now, I should declare two integer variables prev and current and initialize them with the first two variables corresponding to fib0 and fib1. Let's say I don't know how to do this. You also have hints in the coding tutorial. I get a hint, initialize them with 0 and 1 respectively. So what should I do is declare two variables and initialize them with 0 and 1. But let's say I make a mistake. I initialize current with 2. What happens if I validate the step? I get a failed. Alright. I think about it and I can't find the solution. No problem. I can view the solution. Prev is 0 and current should be 1. Okay, I can keep my code and change this 2 to a 1, or let's say I don't keep my code and I want to replace it with our solution. It did it, now I validate again, and it's a success. Now here comes the interesting part. When using the coding tutorial, you have complete flexibility over how you write the code, as long as it is correct and it respects our quality standards. For example, here, I need to iterate using an index I from 2 up to n using a for loop. Okay, I can write a for loop. I starts from 2, goes all the way to n I++, and if I validate the step, it's going to get accepted. But also, this piece of code can be written using a while loop. I can declare a variable which starts from 2. I can write a while loop while I is less than or equal to n, and inside the while loop I can increment I. This code will also get accepted, as you can see. So you have complete flexibility if you are able to find any other solutions which are maybe more elegant or more efficient than, of course, we are here to learn also from you. That's very nice. But I also recommend to keep in mind our solution because we optimize each and every one of them for efficiency, quality, and readability. Another important thing to mention is that when you use the coding tutorial, you shouldn't write the full source code. It will fail even if the source code is correct and efficient. For example, here is our official solution in JavaScript for the Fibonacci problem. If I hit validate step, it's failed. What I need to do if I want to write the full source code by myself is turn off the coding tutorial, and now I can run the code. And it is accepted. Now let's say that I made a mistake. Maybe I forgotten this corner case. And I run the code. Well, it's failed. Let's say I want to see what is the test case in which my solution failed. I can maximize this screen. And here you will see all the input tests. There are 10 of them. And these are the n values for each and every one of them. These are your outputs. And these are the expected outputs. So what you can do is see where there is a difference. And as you can see, for n equals 0, we print 1 and the expected output is 0. So now we have an idea. I know this isn't the most user-friendly, but as we speak we are 80% done with the feature to see directly the first failed test, so it's easier for you. And this is everything you need to know to efficiently use the platform. One more important point that I want to emphasize on is that although I highly suggest that you try your best to solve the problem by yourself, without reading the hints, without watching the video solution, and without using the coding tutorial, I also highly recommend after you are done solving the problem to watch the video solution and at least our full source code, because you can learn a lot of things from there. This is it everybody, I hope everything makes sense and I can't wait to see you on the next lesson.